coaching the Golden Eagles is Clint Smith. Today, Coach Smith has brought with him senior offensive lineman Braden Ball and senior offensive lineman Drake Lee. Coach Smith, we'll turn it over to you for opening comments.
Well, once again, I appreciate you guys having us here again this year. It's that time of year, and we're really excited to get started. These two guys right here are seniors for us. Braden Ball, offensive lineman, and Drake Lee, another offensive lineman. Both these guys have been with our program for a long time, and we're going to be leaning heavily on them this year to provide the leadership with the guys. And so we appreciate y'all having us. We're excited to get going.
First question right here, coach and players. Obviously, this is a reclassification year, moving up, and so tell us a little bit about that whole process and the day it came out and everything. Talk about how things are looking.
Well, every year you speculate, kind of where you think you might be, and you never really truly know. 2 years ago when they redid it, we knew we were pretty close. At that time, we didn't know if we would be moving up then or not. We didn't, but felt like we had a better chance of getting to 5A this year, and of course we did. Our junior class and our sophomore class is pretty good sized classes, and so we definitely knew that was a possibility. It's going to create some new challenges for us. You get into 5A and you start looking at a numbers game in a lot of ways with the amount of players and the amount of talent, things like that. But I really think over the past really 6-8 years, being in the 4A region that we've been in, I think that's prepared us, playing the teams that we've played non-region, and also being in 4A South, the past several years, playing Montgomery Catholic, Bibb County, and some of those guys. And so, the 4A region we were in and in the playoffs in 4A South was extremely tough, and I think that will help prepare our kids as far as for the talent level and things that we'll see this year. It's a tough region. We've got some really good region teams in there, but at the same time, it's exciting. We get to play new teams, get to go new places that we haven't been. The downside to it really is, we lost a lot of our natural rivals, teams 15, 20 minutes from us that we've played for years. We lost a lot of those because of it. We were able to keep Alexandria, able to keep Anniston, two of our biggest rivals on our schedule, non-region, so that worked out well. But we'll see. It's going to be tough regardless of what classification is that you're in this part of the state and in this county. A lot of good football teams, a lot of good football coaches.
Yeah, Clint, obvious question. Who are the new places and now new faces at quarterback and wide receiver, and tell me about those guys.
Well, we lost some really good players, and everybody likes to talk about the offensive side. We lost Jim, Kedrick, Monte, some of our receivers, but we also lost our 3 starting linebackers. We lost some guys on the defensive side of the ball, and just like every year, you lose kids to graduation, but we've got a lot of really good players coming back. These 2 guys right here, and our offensive line is back from last year. Running back's back. So we have, some guys on the back end of our defense, our corners and things like that are back with a lot of experience and a lot of really good players. It runs in cycles. Every year you have to replace. They asked, the same question, several years ago when Ron Wiggins graduated, who replaces Ron? Well, Ron graduated, Jay Tosh Morris stepped in, rushed for over 1,000 yards. G. Turner rushed for over 1,000 yards after him. Zay rushed for over 1,000 last year. And so the exciting thing is now it's somebody else's opportunity to be that next guy. And, as a coach and as a player, it's their time to step up and take that opportunity. And we do have a lot of youth in a lot of places, but, we got these guys back and some guys coming back that's really going to help us. So it'll be fun to see who that next guy is and who steps up, to be the man.
Clint, you kind of mentioned this just a little bit earlier, but I'll bring it more to the forefront. Everybody that I know that talks about high school football in Alabama says the jump from 4A to 5A is the toughest of any of the classifications. Can you address that a little bit and how you might have to look at things differently to make that adjustment to get through a long season at 5A?
Well, ask me at the end of the season, I can probably tell you a little better, but You know, like I said, we played really good competition. We've been in tough areas, tough regions, great non-region schedule. You know, 5A, you know, the past several years we've tried to, I guess, what people call two platoon as much as you can, but we always had guys that had to go both ways. This year, I think we're going to be a little closer to being able to do that. Hopefully, you know, that will give us, you know, shots in the fourth quarter and second half. You know, when you're playing those teams that are dressing 90 to 100 players, you know, that's running offense and defense and every special team. You know, we're going to go into this and we're going to do what we do. We're going to do things the way we've always done it. And like I said, hopefully, you know, the path that we've been over the past several years will prepare us for what we're moving into now.
I got a question for Braden and Drake. What does it mean to you guys that Coach Smith picked y'all today to come speak with us, and how does it feel to be representing Jacksonville?
It feels pretty good. Personally, I love to represent my school and my community and to put on for the community.
I think it's been a wonderful thing to work so hard, and then him, you know, you have trust in your coach to believe in you and he brings you here today. It means a lot.
Drake, how much pressure does it put on you as a defensive lineman that the guys that you used to have at the linebacker are gone? Do you feel a sense that you and the other defensive linemen have got to be better and stronger to help the guys that are going to be the linebackers this year?
So they're on the offensive side. They're offensive linemen.
Both of them offensive linemen?
Yeah.
I'll ask both of you, how much better can y'all be after a year together?
I definitely think there's a lot of room for improvement, of course, like for anything in life. And, you know, every day we're going to strive to get better and keep on working. So.
I think we're a more tight-knit group now that we've experienced a year of play together. I think that's going to help us moving forward for this next upcoming season.
One thing I like about these guys is, and one thing I've said about our offensive line is number one, they love each other and they play for each other. And they fuss and fight like brothers a lot of times, but one thing I can say about them is they are competitors and they love to compete, and they work really well together as the year went on last year. Just the consistency and the camaraderie between them really showed on the field, and it's the same way in the weight room with them. It's the same way in the school. They're a very tight-knit group, and I think you have to be as an offensive lineman because you do depend on each other in order to be successful, and they've really bought into that.
I'll take Joe's question and turn it around. With the quarterback you had the last 3 years, now you got somebody stepping in. You know, he's moved on. There was some comfort behind you. You knew that he had the ability to make some plays. Do you feel that added pressure to you now as a line to be able to play even harder, to give whoever that new quarterback is a little bit more time to adapt and learn?
Yes, sir. You know, it's important to keep his spirits up. You know, lift them up, and of course protect them. And you know, we're going to do that to the best of our abilities. And you know, play our hardest for him, no matter who's back there.
I agree. Like, it's just about trust, you know. I trust that guy, you know, him and a lot of other people have coached him up and made him be able to make plays. So whoever's back there, our job is just to protect him. And I trust that person back there, whoever it may end up being, is going to make a play.
Drake, what's your size? How big are you?
I'm 6'3.5", 288 pounds.
Over the last year, have you seen coaches for you over the last year? Have you seen a big way that he's developed physically, and maybe, you know, a lot of us have that we used to call baby fat or whatever, but you hit that 11th, 12th grade year, a lot of that falls off and he becomes chiseled. Have you seen that in Drake?
I've seen it, you know, in our team. You know, Coach Owens, our strength and conditioning coach, and he's done a really good job with the guys in the weight room, and they've continued to get bigger and stronger. Both these guys, you know, are weight room warriors. They work really hard, you know, really strong, and really put everything that these guys do. They put everything into it, and that's what we talk about, you know, of creating that culture of being there for each other. And both these guys have really grown up physically, and mentally over the past several years to where they are now.
Over the last year, we've seen major renovations at the stadium. The community of Jacksonville just seems to really be as one when it comes to supporting your football team. For you, coach, and the players, what's it feel like to know that you're part of a close-knit bond when you step out there with that Jacksonville or the Ville or whatever you got on your jersey? Talk about the pride that comes with that.
Well, I think I think we've created a culture of winning. I think we've created a culture of relationships, within the team, within the community. Our administration's been great, and our fans have been great. Every time we go on the road, we have just as many fans as the home team. And so our parents, our booster club, everybody that goes into that to make a season successful, and it takes so many people. It's just, they're loud. Our band and cheerleaders do an awesome job. They work extremely hard. And so it's just a fun environment. Friday nights in Jacksonville are awesome. The new stadium, that added a lot to it. But it was that way before the new stadium. And so, just good people, good kids. I've got outstanding coaches that have been with me for a long time and just have bought into what we do. And like I said, that's what it's about, is creating that community and those relationships and just the pride that we have when we put these jerseys on. And you hear people talk about it, but these guys play for the name on the front of the jersey, not the name on the back.
Coach, I got a question for you. Obviously, you expect a lot out of Braden and Drake, but there are some other guys that you can name that you're hoping to have a big season and make a big impact for you guys.
Yeah, we've got the rest of our offensive line that's coming back. Ben Pridgeon, DeAndre Sigler, Garrett Strain, Jackson Wade comes in and plays like those guys. All those guys are back, and we're expecting those guys to kind of help lead some of these younger guys and these little more inexperienced players. Coming back, Zay English is back at running back for us. Defensively, Tyshawn Cameron, TJ Wilson, those guys are coming back from last year. And then, like I said, we got a lot of 10th graders. We got a really big 10th grade class that's coming up, and a big junior class. And so some of those guys, are working, at quarterback. Matthew Salmon, Jackson Bonner, both those guys are working really hard, competing, and and so it's going into the season. I like our team. I like the character of them. I like the locker room. We've got a really good locker room sense about us, and they're a fun group. They allow me to have fun with them, and they have fun. And to me, as you do this longer and the older you get, you realize what's really important and what wins games and what doesn't. There's fads that come and go, but when you get down to the bottom of it, we've got great kids, we've got a great community, we've got great coaches, and it's about relationships, and it's about going out there and playing for each other.
You mentioned having fun. This is for the two players. What's one thing that Coach Smith allows y'all to do that lets y'all have fun, and what's the line that he won't let you cross that he says, no, we're not going to do that?
I think one of the most fun things with Coach Smith is his constant dad jokes. In the weight room, on the football field, he always has a dad joke.
Do you, out of courtesy, do you laugh at it whether it's funny or not?
The good majority of them.
He thinks every one of them's funny. He said he laughs at all of them.
Drake, tell us when you know Coach is serious. I mean, how can you tell either his body language or what he says whenever? What does he do to where you say, okay, this is serious business?
I don't know if he knows he does it, but he has this look about him, when he's being really serious. It's when I see it, I'm like, okay, I need to focus, pay attention to more to what I'm doing, things like that.
And I think that's, this is high school football. Kids play football because it's fun. That's the root of it. They enjoy going out there and playing. They enjoy going out there and compete. And we work hard. We work real hard. But we have a good time while we do it. And I think the guys enjoy that. I think our coaches enjoy that. And like I said, it goes back to culture. It goes back to enjoying going to work every day, enjoying, practice isn't easy. So football's not easy, and I think we do a really good job of keeping that balance.
I was up there in person in your final playoff game last year, and was it Montgomery Academy?
Montgomery Catholic.
Montgomery Catholic, and their quarterback had committed to the same place that our
Troy.
To Troy. And I remember leaving late, and any of us that played high school ball, you hate to leave that field when you know it's the last time. Talk about that group of seniors for just a moment that you had last year, especially those three linebackers. They were the last three to leave the field, because they knew when they take the uniform off, some of them never put it on again. And that's just the reality, and that's one of the cold, hard facts of high school sports is there comes a day when you play your last game. It's tough as a coach, isn't it?
It is. It doesn't get any easier. To me, that's one of the toughest nights of the year is when that some of them have played their last one. We have some guys that go on and play at the next level, but the majority of kids, when that last high school football game's over, it's over. Last year's senior class, just watching, we're to the point now, this year's year 13. We've watched kids come up through elementary school. We've watched them come through our junior high program and into our varsity program. And most of our kids that are on our team, they go through our entire program. They were in junior high and our youth league, junior high, varsity. And when you're around those guys every day for years and you just watch them grow, there's something special about that. Last year's group was a special group. I had a great relationship with all those guys. And it is tough. Those three linebackers did everything together, and just the relationship and the closeness. But as a coach, one of the most rewarding things, and it has happened so many times over the past few years, is when you're sitting there in your office and somebody walks through your door that played for you 10 years ago, or 5 years ago. I had a player this year. We were getting ready to go out for pregame warm-ups, and he walks in pushing a baby stroller. And he was like, "Coach, I just wanted you to meet my son. He was just born, not too long ago." And I mean, man, it was, I was like, "You guys, y'all going out there to pregame, I'm gonna sit here and talk for a minute." And it just, that's when you're making some type of influence, some type of, impact on people is, and I tell them when they leave, I tell all our seniors, you are always welcome here. You come by anytime you can. You don't have to call. You don't have to do anything. And just seeing those guys come back tells me that, number one, it meant something to them, and number two, they learned a little something from it. And so those are the type of things as a coach that is, just by far over and beyond everything else is those relationships. And these guys, when they play their last one, I'm going to miss them just like I miss all of them. And I hope they come back and just, seeing them be successful, seeing them raise a family, seeing them do those things that, you just have to kind of sit back and go, at the time you may have guys that I don't know if they're getting it or not, but 5-10 years down the road, they got a good job and they got a family and they're a successful citizen, that, they got it.
Coach, we're out of time for this segment. If you will, give us your final thoughts.
Well, a lot of new things for us this year. Going to 5A, we're excited about it. We're going to attack it, and we start practice on Monday. We're excited about that, and I know these guys are going to give it everything they got. They're going to represent Jacksonville and the community well, and proud to be their coach, and just love all of them to death. But hopefully it'll go well.
Very well. Jacksonville Golden Eagles, good luck on the season coming